Hey everybody, good morning. 2.9 struck in southern Colorado at the fracking operations, and a 6.3 just struck in the West Pacific right next to where all the deep earthquakes occurred over the past several days. We had the deep 5.1, now followed by a shallow 6.3. And that's right in the location we warned, right next to the spot where the deep 5.1 occurred. 1.5 magnitudes larger. We always expect 1 to 2 magnitudes larger to strike in the locations next to the locations that are struck by deep earthquakes. Additionally, the 2.9 striking at the fracking operation in southern Colorado, North New Mexico, right on schedule, right on time at the spot we were warning. And again, that's a huge fracking operation. So just a quick heads up there. Also, let's see, last 24 hours since last night's update. Let's get that open. Okay, since last night's update, the swarm carries on. I'll be damned. The swarm carries on. Southern California. I was hoping it would die out. But there it is, 12 hours later, and it's the same stack, same size, larger earthquakes this time, twos, multiple twos, 5 different twos, one of them was downgraded to 1.9, and then look to the north, just like we were expecting, at the border of Nevada and California, now twos striking there instead of zeros, bumped up to twos. Oh boy, we're watching for fours to strike, so keep watch over the next several days. I didn't get the update or the forecast done last night, so that's number one priority this morning. And 10 a.m. to update, I don't think it's going to happen. I just really don't. I've got to get the forecast out, and I'll be right in the middle of doing it all right when 10 a.m. comes. So there you go. Pretty interesting. Colorado got hit. But the big earthquake hit right where we were. If you saw the 5.1 a couple days ago, like if you guys already saw it, then you knew to expect that 6.0 to strike. And most likely it would strike in the Solomon Sea, Vanuatu, somewhere in that region. And now it has. There it is one more time. Followed by several aftershocks now. We can turn that up to 6.3. Most recent earthquake, 4.9 off that. And there's our deep earthquakes that have happened over this past week. Raised high off the globe. Pretty interesting, huh? So the spots that we warned were hit. It is what it is. Much love. Good morning. I'll be back shortly. Okay, everybody, really quick again. It is 9:30 in the morning, and there's no way that I'll have a 10 a.m. update. I'm going to be outside doing concrete work again. Got to get this done before the rains roll back in this week. It's got to dry for a day, so today is the only day to get her done. And I just want to welcome everybody into the chat. If you're looking at the globe right now, we're looking at a combined European and EMSC and USGS feed. And you may hear it ding twice for earthquakes. I thought this was 2 different earthquakes that occurred down here in Southern California. I thought there were 4 there, but apparently this is just a double EMSC. USGS reported 3.1. Just south of California's border at Cerro Prieto volcano. On top of that, 2.9 struck at the fracking operations at the Colorado-New Mexico border, just like we were talking about, telling people to watch out for. It had been several weeks since we saw earthquake strike at the Colorado-New Mexico border. It has now been struck before I can even get the forecast out. Here in the West Pacific, again, I'll recap this. A 5.1 deep earthquake. You see it raised high off the globe here, just to the east of the large earthquake that struck this morning. A 6.3 struck in the eastern Solomon Sea, going over to Vanuatu, and then of course, that was caused by the deep earthquake down below. So the 5.1 caused the 6.3, 1.2 magnitudes larger than the 5.1, the 6.3 striking within a day of that deep earthquake. So pretty interesting to see that. Also, more earthquake activity up here in Siberia in Russia. This follows yesterday's 5 that struck. It's not even on, let's see, it's not even on this feed. Let's see if it's on. Well, that's really interesting. You know what, guys? Look at that. The USGS does not have the 5.0 that struck. See this 4.4? On the last 7-day feed, USGS doesn't have the 5. Look, I'm turning it down for the full 7 days. They've got a 5 down here from last week in Turkmenistan, but that's not what we're talking about. There should be a 5 on the map here right now that they don't have. We saw it last night. The Europeans had it on their last 50 earthquakes. So there's a 5.0 that they're not reporting. I told you guys, they don't report. They're missing and omitting 5.0s from their feeds. So next year, when people quote back the numbers, look, there's already, I mean, how many have we counted? This is multiple 5s that are missing from their feeds. That throws off the global count entirely. That's not science, by the way. For them to miss a 5. Look, I can understand they could say, oh, the 4.0s are small. Once you get into that 5.0 range, and a rare one at that, it struck right in western China at the Siberia border, the Russia border. Wow. Wow. And you know what? That followed the shallow 4 here. Of course they moved it, because they said deep earthquakes don't cause shallow earthquakes. So they're paying attention. They watched the live stream last night. I told you they were in here. I told you they were in the live stream. You guys have to take my word for it when I know who's here. And then they go and remove the 5. I'll be damned. That is just... Oh, wow. Well, this is why, again, guys, this is proof positive that they're missing and omitting noteworthy earthquakes that everybody in the science world would expect them to have on the map. A rare 5 striking right near Siberia that it was on the map yesterday that they just removed entirely. And it's not like it's a misreported earthquake. Wow. Okay, well, there we go. We'll turn the feedback on for the EMSC USGS last 7 days. It will ding twice when they both report an earthquake, but there's going to be several times where it only dings once. You only hear one earthquake ding off, and that's either the EMSC or the USGS. So, there we go. Wow. Can you believe it that they removed that 5? And I guarantee you, they watched the forecast. They're like, what? He called for an earthquake to strike to the west after that? Get that thing off there. Just keep the 4. Right? Oh, man. And yes, they would do that. They would totally do it in a heartbeat. Because their whole livelihood's on the line. Their whole house of cards is shaking itself like it's being hit by an earthquake. Wow.